Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we're back from another brand new video. Today's video we are here to discuss this week's Rangers rumour, and to be honest I shouldn't really say this week's Rangers rumour, as this rumour now has been around regarding Rangers and this player now for, I don't know, 6-7 months, but something happened over the last 24 to 48 hours that added fuel to this fire, and this rumour is absolutely everywhere. Now, as you probably know from the intro, and you'll definitely know by that title, we are of course here to discuss Charlton striker Lyle Taylor. But before we actually dive in to today's video, I need to just say our channel has been nominated for an award at the Football Content Awards, which is absolutely incredible, lads. The likes of Open Sport, they're all going to be there up for awards, and our channel has been nominated. That right there, honestly, simply incredible. Can never ever thank you guys enough. I will leave a link down there in the description below. It's going to be around November time, but the voting does end on June the 17th. If you would like to vote for the channel, it is down there in the description below. Honestly, thank you so much for all the support to get us here. You wouldn't actually believe that, as I was saying thank you for the content that's been nominated for an award, the camera cuts it. Oh lads, you deserve better. But anyway, I just wanted to say thank you so much for that, and I'll get to the rest of the video now. And as always, whenever we do a cheeky little Rangers rumour, we will look at the player profile, we will break down his football and CV, we will look at competition for places, and we'll go and have a wee look to see why this rumour is where it's at, which, by the way, in this case, is absolutely incredible. And starting off with his player profile then, Lyle Taylor is a 6'2" centre forward who likes to get in amongst it. Now, if you caught my last video, we obviously talked about the need for a target man, or my opinion, and some people agreed in the comments, some people said we should go all our ways. That's the thing we do here on this channel. But this one sort of fits the mould as what we were talking about in our last video, right? Tall, physical striker who isn't afraid to get in a bit of a tussle. 50 odd yellow cards in his career certainly shows that. And he's a bit of a throwback centre forward. He likes to say the width of the box. You'll never see him run out in the channels, hold the ball to try and cross it in to a 5'0" nothing winger. No. He wants to be the guy inside that box getting to the edge of those crosses. So he very rarely leaves the spot where you pretty much want your centre forward, to be fair. And it's in and around that box where his best attributes are there to be seen. And you see what he's all about. It's his anticipation in movement, right? Some people will talk about the coolness in front of goal and the fact he likes to run through and dink the goalkeeper and all that, and granted that is a very good attribute to have for a centre forward, but something that's really impressed me is that movement in and around that box, whether it is to get to the end of a cross or a set piece, or it's just to time the run to get behind the centre backs, because some people might just think, oh, he's a big lumpy lad, maybe he's not got any pace. He's actually really quick, and that was always a problem, especially early on in his career, was that timing. But now he's got that, now he's in positions, and he's putting himself in positions now at clubs to get the best out of him, and that is why over the last 3 or 4 years he has been scoring goals for fun. As he's got older, it started to click, and right now it's clicked, and that is why we're linked with him. Well, all that and the fact that he's obviously English and a free agent, which usually gets linked to Rangers at some point. But funnily enough, this isn't the first time we've actually been linked with Lyle Taylor. If you go all the way back to when he truly burst onto the goal scoring scene as a 23-year-old playing for Falkirk, we were linked with him because he played 42 games for Falkirk, scoring 29 goals and bagging 8 assists. There were some rumblings back then, but Falkirk decided to cash in on the man and he went down south, where he wasn't able to replicate that same sensational form. He sort of bounced from club to club until he found a club willing to play to his strengths, and since that point it's just been like that in terms of goals and goal scoring records. And that leads us perfectly to the club he's at now, Charlton Football Club. After a fantastic time at his previous club Wimbledon, where goal scoring records and all that fell for that club, he moved to Charlton, and there was questions once again based on the hit and misses that he had, but pretty much soon as he pulled on that jersey, everyone who questioned the man was silenced very quickly. In fact, it's went the exact opposite way. Now he's widely regarded as one of the best players they've had now for a couple of years, and one of the main reasons they were able to get promoted via the playoffs and fight in the championship. And that's not just a couple of fans' opinion, that's what the gaffer said as well. But moving over to some stats and his football and CV then, shall we? In this season that's due to restart in a couple of weeks, he has played 22 games and he has 11 goals and 1 assist to his name, which isn't that bad in the championship. It's a goal every 2 games, especially for a club that's not exactly dominating games. They are third bottom of the championship and they're not exactly creating opportunities left, right and centre for the guy. In fact, you could probably give a wee bit more credit to him because his clinicalness is why they're still in a fighting chance in that league, because he has taken those 1 or 2 chances that he gets per game. But that's just this season. Let's look at his entire time at Charlton then, shall we? And this right here, by the way, is why Lee Bowyer is absolutely gutted that this man is leaving, and the fans are devastated that this man is leaving, because in 67 games for Charlton, he has chipped in with 36 goals and 14 assists in that time, meaning he has 50 goal contributions in 67 games, and all 67 games weren't even starts. Yep, I understand it now. Yep, got it. He really has found his groove. It's maybe took a wee bit longer than a lot of people were expecting, but no, this is a centre forward dripping in confidence. It really kicked into gear at Wimbledon and it's carried all the way through to Charlton Football Club. From his coolness in front of goals today, the 1v1s, to his incredible penalty kick record, by the way, which some people are weirdly holding against this guy, saying, aye, look how many penalties he scored. Did you see us last season? I'll take a guy with a penalty record like that. I'll take that all damn day. That's welcome up the road. I'll tell you that for free, like he is. But before we actually move on to the old competition for places, let's actually finish off his footballing CV the right way, shall we? By taking a step back and looking at absolutely everything. At the age of 30 years old, he has played 386 games, he has scored 142 goals, and he has a cheeky 53 assists to his name as well, showing he is able to hold the ball up and bring others into play as well. But that's the numbers, that's the player profile, and that's the footballing CV done and dusted. Let's actually get to the cheeky wee competition for places, because whenever we're slinked with a striker or we're talking about strikers, who are they coming into battle? Alfredo Morelos and Jermaine Defoe. Not the easiest two to get by to get some game time. But as we said in our last video, we do need a plan B type striker that is a little bit different from both Alfredo Morelos and Jermaine Defoe. And despite not being an out-and-out aerial threat like maybe I would want at the football club, he has still got that physicality, he has still got that box movement, and he is a threat from set pieces, whether he's scoring penalties or scoring headers as well. He has got a wee bit of difference, so again, he could be that plan B option we need when things aren't going our way and Morelos and Jermaine Defoe can't get the job done. But now, with all that being said, let's get to the old meat and tatties of this story then, shall we? Where and why is this rumour absolutely everywhere? Well, it was always lingering along since it was announced that he wouldn't be signing a new contract, but it really blew up because of a Lee Bowyer interview with TalkSport Gist the other day, where he confirmed that Lyle would not be returning back to Charlton during the season restart, which is obviously in a couple of weeks, because he has a life-changing move coming his way, which has got everyone speculating that this is going to be Rangers. Is it his move to Rangers? Is that the life-changing move that he will not risk playing another minute of football with only a week or 2 left of his deal to go? Will Lee Bowyer once again be stung by the lure of Steven Gerrard and playing for the famous blue shirt of Glasgow Rangers? That is all that's in this, ladies and gentlemen. That is why the rumour is everywhere. That is why you've heard it. That little sentence right there and the tone of voice from Lee Bowyer has made everyone think he's on his way up the road. And that's it. Now you know a little bit more about this transfer rumour. You know a little bit more about Lyle Taylor. What is your thoughts and opinions on this? Do you, 1, think Rangers should go ahead and sign the lad now you've heard about him? And 2, do you believe this Rangers rumour to be true? Whilst you're getting your thoughts and opinions out there, I'll give you mine as always very, very briefly. 1, do I think Rangers should sign him? You know, son, it's one of them, you know what I mean? Is it a massive, like, oh my god, what a signing, like the Hadji feeling? No, it's not really, but if you look about what the attributes he brings in, it wouldn't be the worst signing. If it was last season, I'll definitely say, go ahead and get him. But with all the talk saying it's only 3 key players, I'm honestly on the fence with this one, ladies and gentlemen. Does he tick a lot of boxes? Absolutely. But is he classed as a key player for the next upcoming season? it's a hard one to judge, and that's why it leads me perfectly to number 2. Do I think Rangers are going to go ahead and sign him? Even though it fits the mould and it makes sense and it's free, I don't think so, lads. I just don't think so. But I do believe we would be interested in the deal because he has got the talent. When you actually watch what he's got on offer, I do understand why we would be interested in him, especially with all the scouting and that we done around that time when we were looking at Joe Rebo. We heard all the reports about how much impressing Big Taylor was doing, so that could play a part of it. But again, it's just really one of these, and that's why I love doing the Rangers rumour. Some of them are absolutely ridiculous and you throw it away, but this one right here nestles right in the noggin and you think about it, don't you? And that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. Sitting here and talking to you about football things. Do I think we'll sign him? No. But would I be surprised if we did? Absolutely not. And now that me and the Avad dare say, let's sit back, relax, and hear from the people on Twitter. The poll is just officially ending right now, this second, and it's got 1,615 votes. Thank you so much for getting involved. And well, I'm actually really surprised it's this much of a swing. Only 30% of the people votes for no, but 70% of the nation would like to see Lyle Taylor sign for Rangers. So let's see what they've had to say. Callum Kelly, writes in, we are in desperate need for someone to challenge Morelos and Defoe. It seems like we are always linked with this guy every window. See, that's where I fall off the other side, because I don't think he can go ahead and challenge Morelos and Jermaine Defoe for the role. That's where I fall off, lads, is despite me being impressed with what he has to offer, you know what I mean? Rangers Zone writes in, honestly not sure if the third option should be a 30-year-old. Fair enough, mate. He continues by saying, always thought always be a player of a good standard but still young enough to develop, then you should Morelos be eventually sold. Again, not really comfortable with the whole Morelos gone out and Taylor coming in for that role. Not comfortable with that at all. Crispo writes in, he is a decent player, very tidy scoring record for Charlton, says that. I had no idea how good his scoring record was with Charlton, and even with his previous club Wimbledon. Perhaps playing with a better team will see him thrive if signed. Here's hoping. That's right, son. As my dad always says, you play better with better players, and as he's been gone now, could he come up here and replicate and score goals for fun? Who knows, lads, especially with the amount of balls we whip in and how much we dominate the possession of the ball. He'll certainly get more chances with us than he does doing at Charlton. Let's say that to the very, very least. John writes in, yes, I would bring him in and not sign Kimberry. Good shout, mate. That is why in my last video I said I wouldn't be spending $1 million on Kimberry, because Big Taylor would be free to fill that role. Andrew Wilson writes in, if he's going to be a backup, then yeah, I guess, but I'd rather have Kimberry though, to be honest. Everyone's flipping, I like it. I like this discussion. Hugh Adams writes in, I still fancy Dykes from Livingston as a backup. He's a big lad. He's a big, powerful lad, Big Dykes. Bella writes in, no, over 1/3 of his goals he scored for Charlton have been penalties. His goal scoring record from open play is quite poor. I'd rather have a big physical centre forward who can head the ball and bully centre backs. Barisic and Tavernier have the delivery. Give them someone in the box to hit, like a Joey Gardner. It's too soon. It's too soon. Thomas writes in, I think he would be okay, but would rather have Kimberry. Jamie writes in, on a free, why not? He's played in Scotland, he knows the game, hopefully bags and a few goals. And the last 2 or 3 we'll read out in tonight's video. First one comes in from David here. He said, not as a replacement for Morelos. Back it. Get a clap there, son. Absolutely. It won't be. Alistair writes in, yes, 11 goals in the Championship this season is pretty good. And the last one comes in from JT at Bullabear. And he writes in, even if it's just to wind up Lee Boyer again. But aye, the lad's apparently a very good player. Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You've heard from the people. You've heard from myself. If you haven't done so already, you know what to do by now. And as always, I've been Siege over 92. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.